Okay. My name is Joe Garriger, also Literary Joe, for Comic Book Movie and Tunator.com. I'm very pleased to meet you and excited to speak with you. Thanks for
Hey.
taking time. I wanted to start off by asking, when I was watching Boss Baby at the beginning, your character does a lot of lines about like kind of homework and talks about different elements and things like that, which made me wonder, as a young actress, did you learn anything? Do you generally learn things when you do those kinds of lines? Like, do you have to research and do you kind of learn things that you normally would during homework the way you do when you're researching these lines for these characters?
Yeah, definitely. I think more so with normal acting instead of voiceovers, because when you're normal acting and you're saying the lines, the animation does it for you when you're saying the lines. But when you're normal acting, I feel like it's way more important to practice everything you're saying so you know everything you're saying, especially with normal acting. But with voiceovers, it's a little different because they do all the body language and facial movements yourself. You just got to get down the voice. So I didn't practice the homework lines for the voiceovers, but I think it would be different if it was just a normal acting job.
Right, definitely. So then I want to know, you've done this voice acting, but you keep mentioning, live action. You have a lot of experience
Mhm.
with live action. Are you interested in pursuing more voice acting after being in this Boss Baby universe, whether it be Boss Baby or otherwise, or do you
Yeah.
feel like you're more at home with live action on screen?
I mean, I definitely feel more comfortable with live action, but it does not hurt to dabble more into the voice acting world. I loved the experience so much. I genuinely enjoyed it. Although they're both very different, I love both of them very much. And yeah, I would love to do and pursue more voice acting. I feel like it'd be very cool.
So before you had initially got involved with the Boss Baby project, were you familiar with it at all? Or is it something that you had to go back and kind of research and learn about what this world is like before you started?
Well, I did know of Boss Baby in general before. I was actually a fan of the movies. So when I got the audition to do Boss Baby 2, I was like, that is very cool. I love that. But I definitely was very new into the voiceover world. I definitely did research and I wanted to know like the proper etiquette and I wanted to know everything about it because it is very different. But Tom and the whole team made me feel very comfortable, and it felt like it just felt like a normal day. And also, when you're saying your lines, you actually do have to like act it out with your facial expressions because sometimes there'd be a camera on you that the animators use your facial expressions to put onto the character, so it's more like you, which is very interesting, very cool. So I definitely did use my face as well with my voice.
So when you're watching the cartoon, as I'm sure you've seen, the movie multiple times now, is it weird for you to hear your voice coming out of this cartoon since you're usually used to seeing yourself actually moving on screen, even if
Yeah.
you're in paint? Like, is it hard for you to stay in universe? Does it kind of take you out of it? Like, that's me. I've been doing those lines, or can you still immerse yourself in the story?
I definitely try to forget that it's me and to just enjoy the movie, but it is super weird to see a character that sounds just like me and also does facial expressions like me in cartoon form. Um, but it's a whole different world. Like when you're in the booth and you're just saying the lines and you're saying it over and over again and stuff like that, it is completely different and just way cooler to see the world built around you when you're actually watching it, and like the people around you and the lines back and forth and like everything like that. So it was weird to hear my voice because I know that's me, but it definitely was cool to see me built around that universe. It took me out for of it for a while for sure.
Good, that's awesome. So, was there anybody that you worked with? I feel like you probably worked with a lot less people, a smaller crew on this than you would normally as a live action
Yeah.
performance. Was there anybody specifically that you worked with most extensively that helped you get into the mind of this character, or were you with like voice directors and multiple people and just kind of a collaborative effort?
Yeah, so Tom, the director, was probably the most spent time person that I had with. He's a major collaborator. He's super, super nice and sweet, and he's just great. But he let me do my own improv, and he let me do my own ad libs, which I love, because even in live action, I love doing my own little ad libs and improv. I think it just makes things sound more natural and true to you and or the character. But he is a great collaborator. He was awesome to work with. So I think he was probably the person I spent most time with in creating Tabitha.
And he's really known for like his voice of one of the penguins in Madagascar. So I was curious
Cool.
if you were familiar with his character before actually talking to him in person. Like, was that like a geek out thing for you?
Yes, kind of. Because growing up, I loved Madagascar. That was like my favorite movie, and the penguins, of course, are iconic. So just hearing his voice and like hearing like everything, I was like, kind of starstruck right now. Yeah, I was kind of starstruck, and it was really cool. But he's great.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. So you have at least a pop vinyl of one of your characters that you've played before. I know there's a pop vinyl of Young Gamora, and I'm curious, being your age, how hard did you geek out? Like, do you have multiple of them in your collection, or what was your response to getting an actual pop vinyl of your character, your likeness?
It was insane because growing up, my brother and my dad, first of all, love Marvel, but they also love comic books and action figures and Funko Pops. Like my dad has an entire wall of Funko Pops. Like he loves them and he loves collecting them and getting the rare ones. Like it makes him so happy. So when his daughter got his own, he was like, "Oh, that's pretty amazing." And I was like, "Yeah." I felt really cool in the moment. And my friend also love Funko Pop. So I was like, I feel awesome. I was definitely starstruck, and I was like, that's my costume, that's my hair, that's like the green, that's the Young Gamora. Like I was freaking out even though it was me. I don't know. It was weird, but I'm so happy. It's amazing.
Did your friends and family feel like you still looked like yourself, or did were you told, like, from the people that are in your everyday life, that you really, like, they couldn't even see you in that Gamora?
Yeah. I mean, it was definitely a transformation, not only with the wig and the green, um, but they had prosthetics to change my facial shape. So, like, they had like the cheekbones and like the eyebrows. I had no eyebrows, and my friends and family know me for my eyebrows because I got pretty big ones. So, taking those away were definitely a change. But they knew it was me. Yeah, exactly. They knew it was me. It was a weird change. It was like, that's an alien, but that's also my daughter. You know, it's a good mix.
Did your dad have to ask you to sign the pop vinyl for him?
Yeah, yeah. He was like, please, can I get your autograph? No, I'm just kidding. No, he loved it though.
So are you hoping for a pop vinyl for your character in this Boss Baby movie?
Yeah.
Is that something you're pulling for too?
I would love to have a Funko Pop for every character that I do. I think that'd be so awesome having a little miniature thing of you. That's so cool. But yeah, that'd be awesome to have a little Tabitha. I think it'd be cool to see the difference of like my first Funko and then my second one and the difference of their look. I think it's pretty a big range for that.
Yeah, definitely, especially at your age. Now, to talk about Boss Baby, when you approached this character of Tabitha, was there anything that you added to it of your own personality, or of your own thoughts of what this character was, that maybe wasn't prevalent or present in the initial script and plot for the character? Was there
Yeah.
anything that you feel like translated from Ariana into Tabitha?
I think the main thing that kind of moved into Tabitha from me is her humor. And the jokes that she says, I made them sound more sarcastic and dry because that's my humor. And also, like I mentioned before, Tom let me do little ad libs and little like laughs here and there and like improvs of a joke or a reaction to something. He kind of let me have free range on that, which is very cool. But yeah, just little things here and there.
That's awesome. Now, some of the source material for things like you were in Infinity War, some of that stuff's darker. So I'm sure you did your stuff to the side. But
Mhm.
coming up, you are going to be Tiny Tina in Borderlands. And
Yeah.
that material, that source material is really graphic and really, aimed at adults.
Yeah.
So I wanted to know, were you able to go back and play those games, or is that something where they kind of had to give you a recap and is like, all right, this is kind of crazy, so we're going to tell you about this character rather than let you play these games?
No, I mean they loved everything. Like they showed me everything. I was fully indulged in the character. Like I watched every clip of Tiny Tina. I watched every interview of the girl who voiced Tiny Tina. Like I was fully in it, and I watched all the games, and I studied all the characters and what they say. Like I was in it to win it. I memorized every little saying she does, every little flip thingy that she does, like everything. So they definitely didn't hide anything from me. Even if they wanted to, I would find it, and I was fully Borderlands mode for like 5 months.
So you did all of that in live action. I'm not going to ask any spoilers, but I know you have dance choreography, like you have experience in dance. I
Yeah,
was curious if that translates at all with the choreography on screen when you do characters like that, especially
yeah,
Tiny Tina, who you said, does all these things.
yeah.
Is that something where your experience with dance helps you with approach that?
For sure, completely. I mean, like being coordinated, especially with the stunts that everyone does in the movie, it definitely helps, especially because in the stunt world, things change very quickly. So having the past relationship of dance and knowing like the memorization of the dancing and like the quick changes and stuff like that definitely helped with stunts. Yeah, and also I did all my own stunts because I love doing all that stuff. So
Really? You did all your own stunts at
yeah,
14? You're 14, right?
yeah, 14 next week. So yeah,
Oh, happy early birthday. I just had a
thank
birthday
you.
too. We're like
Really?
twins. Yeah, my
Well,
birthday
happy
was
late
like,
birthday. Love that.
thank you.
But I got really close to my stunt double while filming. I'm like trying to say everything without spoiling. I got really close with my stunt double on filming, and she was like, "This is my job. Can you let me do like at least one stunt?" And I was like, "Nope, I'm doing it. I want to do it." So I was indulged in Tiny Tina. I was in Tiny Tina mode. Everything I said was Tiny Tina. It was great.
That's perfect. That's
Yeah.
that's awesome. So, before we end, to get back to Boss Baby, is there anything that you hope to kind of see for your character in the future? Anything that you hope for the franchise to go in the future, or do you think that this film is a good cap for Tabitha and kind of leaving her where she rests?
Hmm. I think I would. I think I would be interested to see how she grows. I think that'd be cool to see if like she becomes a singer or she finds her own passion or something like that. I think she has so many different talents and so much range that she goes through. I think it would be really interesting to see other things while growing up that she goes through as well. I think it would be
And
really cool.
and if she becomes a singer, you can teach them how to animate her dancing.
Exactly. But that also means I'd have to like learn how to really, really sing. So who knows?
So I had a wonderful time speaking with you. I just want to make sure at the end, is there anything you wanted to say about any of your projects, just to the audience, the people
Yeah.
listening to you before I let you go?
65, another film that I did comes out May 13th next year, which is very exciting. And also Borderlands. Watch out for Tiny Tina because she's coming in and she's coming in hot. So be prepared.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It's been
Thank
such a
you.
pleasure. I feel very honored, and I hope that you continue to spread your talents into so many more projects.
Thank you so much. You're awesome.
Stay safe. Wear a mask.
Thank you. Yes, exactly.
Bye.
Bye. Have a good one.
You too.